Do you have family movie nights on your couch? We do. The highest grossing animated movie of all time, and quite possibly the most popular, is now available on digital home entertainment and Blu-ray. Disney's Frozen 2 took fans on a brand new adventure with Elsa and Anna, filled with love, loss, fear, and grief. It was a lot for me, and I talked to the filmmakers about the intense storyline for kids.
Promise me we do this together, okay? I promise.
I don't think that anyone would have done this project if there hadn't been an ambition to grow it up and make it about change and maturity and how difficult change is, but that it's something you have to go through.
This movie has so much in it. So many layers, the grief, the grit, the loss, the goals, everything. Was there at any point when you were watching prior, you thought, this might be a little bit too much for kids?
No, actually, I mean, we talk about it, that balance. So there's always a balance you want to strive for. But, we grew up on Pinocchio, fairy tales. Yeah. Fairy tales go there, and they go there partly to help kids cope with things. Hey, guys! So I think we felt as long as there was something meaningful for them, some of the parts that might be over their head, that's okay too. It speaks to adults, but that's life. And so we really felt strongly that this journey and going from Frozen 1 and watching the things you tackle as you grow up had a place with kids. And we, fortunately have seen that kids have been able to navigate even the tougher moments.
I think kids oftentimes handle things better than parents anticipate them to handle. When we watch the film, with a full audience, including kids, they're riveted to the screen, and yes, there are scary moments, but they're very focused on what's going to happen next. And I think, fortunately, our movies are really a lot about hope, so it always ends well.
And they're smarter. Even with the Olaf, scene and everything. We asked kids and young kids, and they're like, well, I knew it's Disney, something was going to happen differently. I just wanted to see how. Mm-hmm. So they're more savvy. They're already more savvy moviegoers than I think we give them credit for.
I love happy endings.
So we're going to unpack all of this right now, because joining me is licensed marriage and family therapist Keesha Amezcua. Like I said, this movie was a lot for me, but are the filmmakers right? Am I the wimp?
Well, I don't know about that, but I think it's not so cut and dry. It's not such an easy black and white answer when you're talking about is something appropriate or not in terms of a movie for kids. I think we have general guidelines that we follow, right? It's a G or it's a PG, but I think the most important thing is you have to know your own child and what their temperament is. And I think that's kind of what we're talking about in these situations.
So in the situation where, for instance, I took my daughters and then my sister was also there with her daughters, and her older daughter surprisingly started crying in the middle of it, saying, I don't like this, I'm scared. Now, I'm not gonna tell you what happened, but should my daughter have taken my niece out of the theater, or should she have maybe said, it's okay, just watch it, and made her cope? Your thoughts?
Well, I really am a big proponent of talking to kids about what they're experiencing, what they're feeling. And, I think too often we want to kind of maybe shield them from these kinds of topics about loss or grief. And instead of just explore, what is this bringing up for you? Can we talk about it and see what that is? If it's truly I'm scared of something and that's going to turn into nightmares, then yes, remove the child and really protect them. But if it's something that this is a hard topic and I don't have the words, then maybe it's an opportunity to have that conversation with that child.
Okay, yeah, because I'm a big believer in talking about things too, and something that you and I talked about also, personally with me, this movie, it took me 2 times to see it, but I think it did a great job. Your thoughts? Did you like it or not?
I loved it, and I really did. My kids loved it, but my kids are younger. I have 6, 4, and 2, and I think it really was like they just liked the lights and the magic and that kind of thing, and those other concepts really didn't hit for them because they're too young. But it did bring up some interesting things. We got to kind of start having those conversations because they're starting to be curious about those things.
Interesting. Well, something to do. Now that it's on home entertainment, so we can tackle these things on our family couches, right?
Right. My kids can't wait, so we'll be watching over and over, and I'm sure that will bring up more conversation.
As everyone grows, right? The movie, it's the movie that grows with us.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, thank you for talking about that. You made me feel better at the very least.
Oh, good.
Okay, good.
Not a whim. Not a whim.
Not a whim.
Right.
Thank you. All right, we'll be right back.